India has walked away from U.S. trade talks due to tariffs. Ex-top official former Finance Secretary Subhash Garg has criticized U.S. President Donald Trump's repeated assertions that India is profiteering from discounted Russian oil, calling the claim political theater, not economic reality. Speaking to NDTV, Garg highlighted a new CLSA report that has refuted the windfall narrative, revealing India's actual savings from Russian crude are closer to $2.5 billion annually, not the inflated $25 billion figure often cited. Profiteering claims just a tool to punish India. Garg argued that the true discount India enjoys on Russian barrels, after accounting for shipping, insurance, and blending costs, is just $3 to $4 per barrel. He noted that Trump could cherry-pick any number for political leverage, but the reality remains. India is buying Russian oil within the global price cap framework, which means there's no breach of international agreements. Walking away would embolden the US, not serve India's interest. Garg warned that reducing crude costs would be beneficial for India, emphasizing that abandoning Russian purchases would only strengthen the US position rather than align with India's interests. He stressed, any reduction in crude costs is worth it for India. Walking away would only embolden the US, not serve India's interest. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent confirms that high tariffs on India are not solely about Russia, but also stem from the protracted nature of the trade deal negotiations. India-US trade talks effectively walked away. Garg asserted that New Delhi has already effectively walked away from trade talks, citing Trump's unilateral tariffs of up to 50%. He cautioned against formalizing a trade closure, arguing, no one can trade at those tariff levels. But India should never formally close the door. Hope for sanity will prevail at some point. Rethink your negotiating positions. Garg urged India to reconsider its rigid stance in agriculture and consumer goods, particularly regarding GM oils and dairy imports. He explained, farmers' interests aren't genuinely harmed by these imports. It's about consumer preference. Choice, not bans, should guide policy. India's stand against US pressure. India has vowed to resist US pressure, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi pledging to never compromise farmers' interests. Meanwhile, Garg emphasized that India's long-standing opposition to Chinese investment in critical sectors has backfired, as reliance on Chinese semiconductors, solar cells, and EV batteries is inevitable. Allowing Chinese investment could reduce long-term dependence, though India's current policies have strained its economy. Boycott calls are insane. Garg dismissed rising calls to boycott US goods as irrational. The US is deeply integrated into Indian consumption and services. A boycott is neither possible nor desirable.